that across the country. And in our state here, we have declared it a state emergency, and we are working very hard at the state level to enact laws that are going to do things like establish entry points, more entry points and beds for treatment, laws that will create prescription drug monitoring programs to prevent doctor shopping and to track who can be abusing opioids. We're strengthening prescription writing guidelines here. We're making naloxone, or Narcan, some people know it as. We're making that readily available throughout the community to treat overdoses, and we're training people how to use Narcan, how to, see the effects of someone in an opioid overdose and treat them with Narcan. And we're trying very hard to keep opioids out of the hands of children by creating education programs, limiting the amount of prescription drugs that are prescribed. All of those things happen at the state level, and that's what's really wonderful about the ability to work within a state legislature that sort of elevates the opioid epidemic to crisis sort of standard, because it allows us to, introduce these laws and enact them. We have an incredible governor, Tom Wolf, who has really made this priority number one and has really wanted to make sure that we are working very hard to get these laws passed, make sure that we are fighting against cuts in Medicaid. I mean, you may know that we don't really have at the state level control over Medicaid funding that comes from the federal level, but what we can do is make sure, as Governor Wolf has, that we are exercising every ability to get every Medicaid dollar into our state that we can, because 215,000 people in Pennsylvania rely on Medicaid and have a substance use disorder diagnosis. So that's huge. We need to make sure that we aren't cutting Medicaid. Cutting Medicaid funding means fewer people end up in treatment. We have more overdoses. And those are things that we are fighting actively against at the state level. And those things, again, we don't have to wait for a plan at the national level. We can do those things, and we are doing those things in Pennsylvania, and we're doing them in Montgomery County to make sure that this epidemic is being met head on. It's just one of the ways that, I'm really proud that this state is meeting this demand and really doing what it can to make sure that people have access to their family doctors. They have access to intensive outpatient programs. They have access to recovery specialists. All of those things are going to be paramount to not just overcoming substance abuse, but, getting on with a healthy life. And that, to me, as a healthcare professional, is really what it's all about, getting people to a point where they are living a life that they want to live at the highest level that they can. And we need to make sure that we are enacting legislation that's going to support them in doing that. And we need to make sure that we are exercising every bit of that Medicaid funding that we are entitled to from the federal government so that we can, make sure people have access to the care they need.
All right. Is there anything else that you would like to make sure that people know about you or your campaign?
Yeah, I just want to let people know that this is such an exciting time for me personally to be running for office. Pennsylvania ranks 49th out of 50 states for women that hold elected office. So this is a really wonderful opportunity for this district to elect a Democrat and a woman. And it would be the first time that this seat has been held by either. And I'm excited to be that candidate. I'm ready to work for the people of the 12th District. I'm ready to listen to what they need and fight on behalf of those needs in Harrisburg. And I think now is our time. It is the time for us to really make a difference in Harrisburg and make sure that Pennsylvania isn't lagging behind, but that we're at the forefront of change, because now is the time for that.
And if people would like to get involved with your campaign or donate, how can they do that?
I'd love that. Yes, please donate $12 to flip the 12. That's been our saying recently. And they can find me at mariaforpa.com, and that's F-O-R, not the number 4, mariaforpa.com. They can follow us and share our Facebook and Twitter. Please do that. Like us, follow us, share us. Join their local sister district project, and you can always email us directly at mariaforpa@gmail.com as well, and we'll We'll give you lots of ways to get involved. There's so much to do, and we need, every hand to do it.
All right. Excellent. Thank you. Thanks for listening to Two Broads Talking Politics. Our theme song is called Are You Listening? Off the album Elephant-Shaped Trees by the band Imunari, and we're using it with express permission of the band. Our logo and all original artwork is by Matthew Weflin and is done expressly for Two Broads Talking Politics. We can be found on our website at twobroadstalkingpolitics.com. You can reach us by email at twobroadstalkingpolitics@gmail.com, on Twitter at twobroadstalk, on Facebook and Instagram, and you can support us on patreon.com. You can find our podcast on Apple Podcast, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, and anywhere podcasts are found. If you are interested in advertising on Two Broads Talking Politics, please email us at twobroadstalkingpolitics@gmail.com.